Nothing out of the ordinary.
That runs here, which
Good morning. I will call the Platte County Commission Administrative Session for Monday, December 5th, 2022 to order. Commissioner Vanover, would you lead us in an invocation pledge this morning?
Would you please pray with me? Father in heaven, we come to you today and thanks for this wonderful community you've given us. And thank you for the blessings of family and especially in this holiday season and the Advent season. Please be with us in our community and help us to make the right decisions for our community. In your son's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Vanover. Chair Pruitt, our clerk-elect, is with us today. Welcome. Coming in for a little bit of firsthand look. Former, I guess, still employed with the county, but new role beginning of the year. So congrats. Very good. Next item on our agenda is approval of the agenda.
move to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the agenda. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Schubert?
Yes,
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanover?
Yes.
that motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the consent calendar.
Move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Schubert?
Yes,
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanover?
Yes.
that motion carries. We are now ready for our first business action item, which is item 6A, a public hearing to amend the budget. And it is 10:05, and we will open that public hearing. Welcome our auditor, Kevin Robinson.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kevin Robinson, Platte County Auditor. Before I start, if I may distribute some new information.
Thank you.
There's two there.
It's two. One was for me.
All right, Commissioners, for the record, we are here to consider amendments to the 2022 budget. These were posted on Friday prior to 10 a.m. 2 weeks ago. Actually, that was Friday after Thanksgiving. It was actually posted on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Since then, there have been some amendments to these. That's what I've distributed. I'll go into more detail and be specific as to changes from what was originally posted. But for the record, for discussion, the funds and departments impacted by the proposed amendments today include Emergency Management Fund, CERT DART Donation Fund, Victims of Domestic Violence Fund, Parks and Recs Funds, Public Works Funds, Road Sales Tax, including Road District Fund, Road District Number 1 Fund, Road Sales Tax Parkville Fund, Riverside, and then within the General Fund, General Administration, Planning and Zoning, the Sheriff, and contingency accounts. Okay, so at the top of the page, Commissioners, what we're proposing for amendments today, first off, is a set increase in our sales tax. If you recall, we've done this the last couple of years. Sales tax above what was budgeted, and we need the additional amount to cover the TIF expense. And we're also covering a couple other expenses with that proposed change today. But the main thing is the TIF expense. We do need $550 for planning and zoning for additional fuel. And then we're adding $107,000 in contingencies for some unexpected expenses that we have been incurring this year. With that, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Moving down, there's a $90 transfer to close out the SURF account. It was a fund that was set up several years ago in anticipation of some donations. So this is simply just to close that account out. In Fund 2400, the Victims of Domestic Violence. This is a in and out. We budgeted $30,000 last year. This is off of court fees. We do need an additional $1,000. They do have the revenue to cover it, so it's just an increase in the grant distributions. In 2900, again, we're doing the same thing. We're increasing sales tax. We're not increasing sales tax. They have the revenue to cover it, but we're increasing the TIF expense, $30,000 to cover that. Public Works into Fund 3000. Again, this is one of those that is cash in the bank, and out of Fund 3000, it's a one-for-one transfer out. It receipts into 3101, and we transfer it into 3000 for operations, and it's a dollar for dollar. So we're increasing that by $1,000 in anticipation of a little bit over what we anticipated in the year. Down in Parkville, this is a sales tax increase again to cover the TIF expense. And the same thing at the bottom for Riverside increase to cover the TIF expense. With that, Commissioners, I'll answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Kevin. Any question or discussion from the commission?
Questions?
I have none. Would anyone from the public like to address the commission during this public hearing? Seeing none, then it is 10:09. We will close the public hearing and move on to our next business action item, which is approval of the budget amendments to the 2022 budgets. Kevin?
Okay, Commissioners, Kevin Robinson, White County Auditor, just again for the record, for what items were proposed as amendments to the 2022 budget. The funds and departments impacted, again, our Emergency Management Fund, the Start Dark Donation Fund, Victims Domestic Violence Fund, Parks and Rec Sales Tax Fund, Public Works Fund, Road Sales Tax District 1, Road Sales Tax Parkville, Riverside Fund, and then within the General Fund, General Administration, Planning, Zoning, Sheriff, and Contingents. With that, Commissioner, I recommend that you approve the proposed amendments as discussed in the public hearing.
Move to approve business action item 6B, 2022 CO 187, approval of budget amendments to the 2022 budget.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 187. Question or discussion from the commission?
None.
Done.
Anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 187? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll.
Commissioner Siebert,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Hanover.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate
Thank
you
you,
being.
Commissioners.
Next item on the agenda, 2022 CO 184. This is 2023 American Rescue Plan Act.
Morning, Commissioners. Major Holland with the Sheriff's Office. Just to give a little clarity regarding the title of this, this has to do with American Rescue Plan Act funds that were received by the state of Missouri. It's not the county's ARPA funds. So the state has released a grant known as the American Rescue Plan Act Peace Officer Grant. And what the Sheriff's Office is applying for is, and the two grants that you have on your agenda are somewhat related. With changes that have gone on over the years, the need for patrol deputies to have body cams or cameras that they actually wear on their uniforms has increased exponentially and impacts everything from recording interactions to citizens to actually being a benefit in prosecution cases. This does not seek to get a camera for every patrol officer, but it would allow us to get 15 body cameras to kind of get the program started. The grant does have a 50% match. So we'd be asking for $19,598.13 from the state. The county would then have to match that. Right now, it is not in the 2023 budget. Under the guidance from the federal government and the state, the county can use its ARPA funds for that match, but we were not going to presume as to what decision the county commission may make regarding the ARPA funds. So that's why it's not in the 23 budget at this time. If it is awarded and the county accept it, then depending on the decision made related to the county ARPA funds versus general funds, we would seek an amendment at that time.
I move approval of 2022-CO-184, the 2023 American Rescue Plan Act grant for the Sheriff's Department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 184. Question or discussion from the commission? Major Holland, you mentioned that C and D are somewhat related. I know you'll probably be explaining D, but D relates to body cams as well? or-
Yeah, both grants are going after the same project
Okay,
as far as getting patrol body cams, but they're separate grants.
perfect. Appreciate that. Would anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 2022 CO 184? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll.
Commissioner Siebert,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderpool.
Yes.
That motion carries. 2022 CO 185 is next. This is a 2022 local law enforcement block grant. Major Holland?
Yes, commissioners, as you just said, this is the local law enforcement block grant. If a county or a city jurisdiction does not qualify for a direct award from the Department of Justice, then there's federal money given to the state through the LLEBG program that those entities that didn't get direct awards could apply for. We're again looking to bring body cameras to patrol deputies. This grant does not have a local match, so it would be, if awarded, the funding level would be $9,930 is what we've asked for with no match, and this would cover 6 additional body cameras outside of what was in the other grant.
Move to approve business action item 6D, 2022 CO 185, the 2022 local law enforcement block grant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 185. Question or discussion? Major Holland, so in total between the two, 21 new body cams?
Yes.
And what percentage of our patrol then would have body cam?
That would be just under half.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Would anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 185? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll.
Commissioner Siebert,
Yes,
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Vanderpool.
Yes.
that motion carries. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Colin. Next item on the agenda is item 6E. This is a public hearing reinstating the tax levy rate ceiling for Platte County. It is 10:15, and I will open that public hearing. And we have Dana Babcock here to present this item during the public hearing.
Commissioners, apologize for the voice. One thing to note, the actual conduct of the public hearing today was inadvertently left off the agenda when it was posted Friday morning. The action item that I'm going to ask you to consider to reinstate the levy was on the agenda. The hearing was noticed in the Western Chronicle, which is the actual conduct of it was omitted. County clerk noticed that, contacted Bob Shaw. He said it was okay to update the agenda with the conduct of the public hearing. So with that, would ask that you consider this. Basically, as you recall, the county submitted property tax levy forms to the state auditor's office in 2022, which indicated that the county was taking a voluntary tax rate reduction of 9.09 cents from its then existing tax ceiling of 32.08 cents. As the reduction was a voluntary reduction, the county's tax rate ceiling for tax year 2023, a general reassessment year, would be reduced to 22.99 cents. As 2022 is not a general reassessment year, the county commission does have authority to reverse the voluntary reduction taken in 2022 and reinstate the tax levy ceiling at 32.08 cents. This reinstatement does not require the county to impose a tax levy of that amount. It merely provides the starting point for calculations, which will include a reduction resulting from the county sales tax collections. And then obviously the levy would be addressed at the September levy hearing.
Any questions or comments from the commission during the public hearing?
None.
Thank you, Dana, for bringing this forward. This is a starting point for a calculation. I know that by the time we go through that calculation, typically our actual ceiling ends up at about half of this 32 cents, and then the commission again voluntarily lowers that. So It's there for emergencies or for unforeseen needs if needed, but we're currently still at 6 cents. Doesn't impact that 6 cent that people are currently taxed.
Correct, and this does not require you to change anything. It's just reinstating that ceiling.
Appreciate you bringing this forward. Would anyone from the public like to address the commission in this public hearing? Seeing none, it is 10:18 and I will close the public hearing and we will move on to item 6F 2022 CO 180, which is the order reinstating the tax levy ceiling for Platte County.
I don't have anything else, just reiterating that the notice of the hearing was posted in the Chronicle and would ask you to consider this and we'll get our levy reinstated to the ceiling.
I move to approve 2022-CO-180 and order reinstating the tax levy rate ceiling for Platte County.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 180. Question or discussion from the commission? Anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 180? Seeing none, clerk, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Schubert?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanover?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next item on our agenda, 2022 CO 181. This is an order authorizing Missouri Department of Revenue collection of sales tax on the road sales tax issue. Dana?
Commissioners, as you know, we had an election on November 8th, 2022, and a county sales tax at the rate of 1/4% for transportation-related projects, including but not limited to roads, bridges, drainage structures, and sidewalks. Now effective, would ask that you validate this, and the clerk is to send this off, forward it to the Missouri Director of Revenue by registered or certified mail, a copy of this order and the original order authorizing it to go on the ballot. And also include the notice of special election, which will be attached, and a copy of the ballot and an abstract of votes cast on the question in the November 8th election. It would authorize them to start collecting.
Move to approve business action item 6G 2022 CO 181 and order authorizing Missouri Department of Revenue regarding collection of sales tax on road tax issue.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 181. Question or discussion from the commission?
None.
Just for the record, the collection starts in 2024 after expiration of the current
Correct.
2023 3/8 sales tax. So through 2023, the tax rate will not change. Effective 2024, it will be reduced by that aid.
I believe it's effective October 1st of 2023 is the new rate, I believe.
It is.
Okay, yeah. So it's toward the end of,
Part the year.
the expiration is October 2023.
It's not effective immediately, correct.
Very good. Thank you. Would anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 2022 CO 181? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll.
Commissioner Schubert?
Yes,
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanover?
Yes.
that motion carries. Next item on our agenda, 2022 CO 182, Blue Cross Blue Shield Annual Renewal. Dana?
Commissioners, this is an agreement with Blue Cross Blue Shield for the 3 plans that we currently have with them: Preferred Care Blue EPO plan, Blue Select Plus EPO plan, and Blue Select Plus PPO Blue Saver Spira Care HSA. It's the current plans that we've had for at least the last 2 or 3 years. And this is a renewal, the annual renewal that we usually do this time of year.
Move to approve 2022-CO-182, the Blue Cross Blue Shield annual renewal.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 182. Question or discussion for the commission?
I just want to comment that the renewal had a lift of just under 10% and the
Correct.
county, right now we're working on the county budget and made the decision for the county to eat all those costs for the employees. So we understand that it's a really tough time for people to have their premiums increased, and we decided to go ahead and take that lift. So it's not a small increase. So
And greatly appreciated. And I might add, I did not have a budget impact number on this because to be determined. It depends on how many employees, obviously, that we have sign up for the different plans, and that fluctuates from year to year. The county councilor has approved it and the auditor as well.
I believe it was under 300,000.
And the open enrollment's going well?
Yes, first time online through our payroll system. And by and large, of course, I think it helped that the plans didn't change much. And it was a passive enrollment. If you didn't want to make any changes, we encouraged everybody to look at it. But if you didn't want to make any changes, it didn't require a lot of action on your part, or any for that matter. So I think that helped. It was a good year to introduce that. And, it was, I would say, very successful.
Very good. Thank you, Dana.
Something you've been working on for a long time.
Yes.
Been wanting to move forward.
It was no easy
Years,
task,
many
yes.
years.
I must say, Heather Hansen did a fantastic job of facilitate that, as Josh Carey's company
Good teamwork all the way around. Appreciate that.
group.
Anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 2022 CO 182? Seeing none, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Seaver?
Yes,
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Gannon?
Yes.
that motion carries. Thank you, Dana. Appreciate it. Next item on our agenda, 6I, this is 2022 CO 189, Professional Service Agreement, Trainer HL.
Good morning, Commissioners. Daniel Erickson on behalf of the Black County Facilities Department. Commission Order 189 is a professional services agreement between Platte County and Trainer HL for the Security Technology Upgrade Project. Platte County has a complex integrated system of security technology operating throughout the complex, in particular the detention center, but also this building, the courthouse, and all our buildings. That system, in some places, instances have been in place since the construction of portions of the buildings. It's showing its age. We know that, as with all technology, it's hard to get some of the updates and the hardware. So it's in much need of replacement and upgrade. So this contract, basically, as you recall, earlier this year, we did do a preliminary study to look at our system. That study came back and basically said, yeah, your system needs to be upgraded, and there's what you need to be looking at. The next step is to design bids, go out to bid, construct, implement. This is, as I mentioned, a highly complex project. Involves technology, involves a lot of expertise that we need to reach out and find. Trainer HL has the ability to be that expert, our expert, our agent in this complex project. So basically, they will be the project manager on this project. They'll design the bids. They'll help us negotiate any contracts. They'll coordinate the construction and switch out and all the complexities related to that, logistics. And they'll also be the third-party inspector, meaning they'll test it, be an independent third-party inspector, make sure it works. So when we go online, it works and we don't have any issues. So important project. The contract itself has been reviewed by County Councilor Bob Shaw. The amount of the contract for this service is $117,600. Our intent is to submit this as an ARPA qualified project. With that, staff recommends you approve this professional services agreement between Platte County and Trainer HL.
Move to approve business action item 6I, 2022 CO 189, the professional services agreement with Trainer HL, Project Management Security Technology Upgrade Project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 189. Question or discussion from the commission?
Done.
Includes study of all devices, this building countywide, this building, courthouse.
Access control, cameras, fire alarms, intercoms, door security, other.
Probably been some advancements in 25 years, hasn't there?
Yes, yes.
Very good. Would anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 2022 CO 189? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll.
Commissioner Seaver?
Yes.
Commissioner Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vance?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next item on our agenda, 6J, 2022 CO 175. This is rezoning ag to rural estates, Richardson Land Investment LLC. Daniel?
Commissioners, this is a request submitted by Richardson Land Investment LLC seeking to rezone approximately 33 acres from agricultural to RE rural estates with the intent of creating two lots, one 20-acre lot and one 11-acre lot, each which would be eligible for a new home. The remainder of the property, 175 acres, will retain the ag zoning. This came before the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval. Just a kind of side note, this was an application you may recall. They originally came to the Planning Commission with, I think, a 6-lot subdivision with lots that didn't conform to the land use plan. Staff recommended denial of that request, and the Planning Commission unanimously rejected that request. And ultimately, I think the commission upheld the rejection. They did go back and work with those neighbors and are resubmitting this proposal, which does in fact conform to the land use plan. And as a result, got a unanimous recommendation. So staff recommends that you approve this change in zoning.
Approval of 2022-CO-175 rezoning from AG to RE for Richardson Land Investments LLC.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 175. Question or discussion? Anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 175? Seeing none, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Shebel?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanover?
Yes.
That motion carries. 2022 CO 176 is next, Daniel.
Commissioners, this is a request by Jeffrey and Patricia Dillon of the PJD Leasing LLC, seeking to rezone 6.43 acres. It's currently got 2 different zonings. It's partially zoned R10, which is single family medium density, kind of a suburban zoning, and partially zoned highway commercial. This land, the 6 acres, is currently is lotted out into 10 individual lots in a right of way, and is part of the Red Rock Acres subdivision, which was platted, I believe, in the early mid to 80s, and it was never basically the streets were never installed, the lots were never established, or the homes were never built because the infrastructure was never installed, sewers and so forth. So this owner is buying all that or owns all this and wants to combine all those lots and vacate the right of way, which will be in front of the commission at our first hearing in January, and upzone it to RE real estates in order to create one lot, 6.43 acre lot, which would be eligible for a building permit. This came to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission recommended approval of to the commission by a vote of 7-0 with 1 abstention. Staff recommended approval to the Planning Commission. I will note that we did receive a letter from the Platte City Special Road District. I'm paraphrasing the letter, but basically they have no objection to the change in zoning and the proposed development. They do reserve their right to request some road improvements to Granite Street. Unfortunately, for staff's perspective, this being a minor subdivision, we don't have the authority to require off-site improvements when somebody's doing a subdivision of such low density. They did put that in the record, and I'll put it in the record before you.
Very good.
Move to approve business action item 6K, 2022 CO 176 rezoning from R10 and commercial to RE for the, PJD Leasing LLC.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 176. Question or discussion?
None.
Would anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 2022 CO 176? Seeing none, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Shebel?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanover?
Yes.
That motion carries. 2022 CO 177, this is rezoning ag to rural estates, Platte County Farm LLC. Daniel?
Commissioners, this is a request to rezone 10 acres from agricultural to RE rural estates. The applicant wishes to form a 1-lot minor subdivision of 10 acres. The property is located at 20665 Highway 92. This was unanimously recommended by the Planning Commission. Staff recommended approval to the Planning Commission.
Move approval of 2022-CO-177, rezoning from AG to RE for Platte County Farm LLC, Sarah Snook.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 177. Question or discussion? Anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 177? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll.
Commissioner Seaver,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Hanover.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next item on our agenda, 2022 CO 178. This is rezoning ag to R40 Single Family Estate, Hagedorn Family Revocable Living Trust. Benjamin Hagedorn. Daniel?
Commissioners, this is a request by Benjamin Hagedorn seeking to rezone approximately 14 acres. This is a property down off of River Road near just west of downtown Parkville, in that area. It's kind of convoluted, but they own other properties out there, and the whole purpose of this is to create one 17-acre lot with one zoning classification. So they are, in order to do that, basically make sure the zoning and the land match, they're rezoning approximately 14 acres from ag to R40 single-family estate. The main reason for the R40 opposed to more rural type zoning is a setback issue. I think there's an outbuilding that you could not, wouldn't meet the setbacks if it went to a rural estates type zoning. So end result will be one 17-acre tract that the owners will be able to build a home on. Staff recommended approval from the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval to the County Commission.
Move to approve business action item 6M, 2022 CO 178, rezoning from ag to R40, the Hagedorn Family Revocable Living Trust.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 178. Question or discussion?
None.
Anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 178? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll.
Commissioner Seaver,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Hanover.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next item on our agenda, 2022 CO 179. This is rezoning ag to rural estates. Steve and Brenna Delapod.
Padra,
Okay,
I think.
Daniel.
The applicants are requesting to rezone 26.65 acres from agricultural to RE rural estates with the intent of splitting that 26-acre property into two 13-acre pieces, each eligible for a new home. This property is located off of Little Platte Road, on the north side of Little Platte Road. Staff recommended approval of this request to the Planning Commission, and the Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval to the County Commission.
Move approval of 2022-CO-179, rezoning from AG to RE for Steve and Bryna De La Piedra.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 179. Question or discussion? Anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 179? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll.
Commissioner Seaver,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Hanover.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is item 60, 2022 CO 188. This is the county reimbursement cooperative agreement.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Gibson on behalf of the Prosecutor's Office. This is the annual contract renewal with the state of Missouri for the 4D County Child Support Cooperative Agreement with the state. It allows us to have one prosecutor, two child support advocates, and also payment of mailing expenses for prosecuting child support cases in the county.
Move to approve business action item 60, 2022 CO 188, the County Reimbursement Cooperative Agreement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 188. Question or discussion?
None.
Done.
Thank you for being here, Mark. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
Would anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 188? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll.
Commissioner Shebert?
Yes,
Commissioner Rea?
Yes.
Commissioner Hannaford?
Yes.
that motion carries. We are now ready for item 6P, which is public hearing number 3 to amend traffic schedule 3, the ordinance of Platte County. It is 10:38, and I will open this public hearing and turn it over to Bob Heim to present.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bob Heim, Director of Public Works. Yes, this is the third and final hearing on this traffic ordinance amendment. To be a little more specific, Platte City Special Road District asks that part of Running Horse Road become a no parking zone. That particular area is from Running Horse from 120th up to north to the city limit line, Platte City's limit line. We have placed notices in 2 local newspapers. We posted notices in 4 public places. It's on our website. And to this point, we have not received any comments from anybody. And at this point, I think we've done our due diligence on this, and would ask if there's any more questions from the commission at this point in regards to this amendment.
Any commissioner like to ask any questions or make any comments?
At this location where the proposal is to make it no parking, is on a road that appears to be a through road, a road that's not normally parked on. And I've seen the large, very large tow truck vehicle that parks in this one particular spot. It does look to me, for a layperson's eye, as a hazard. As you come around a corner, expecting there to be a through road, arterial road, without cars on it, then there's this giant tow truck that's parked right there. So I support changing it to make this area no parking for most of the stretch of the road. It's practically speaking, it's not a parking area. There's just people that don't park on it except for this one spot. If someone has decided to start parking, I think it'd be smart to make it no parking. I'm optimistic that if we pass the ordinance, the person will stop parking there. The one that we did last year on 136th Street, we made it an area no parking, and the tractor trailer that's parking on that area is not parked there. I haven't seen it since. I think that one person got the message. And that was another, I think, a good decision to make no parking.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, Bob, if this happens to pass, how is the public notified that this is no longer a parking area?
This is in the Platte City Special Road District. I'm not sure what their means of notifying folks. If you would like, the District Administrator, Frank Offit, is here. We could ask him to come up and speak to that.
I can tell you what happened.
Signs at least, right?
I can tell you what happened on 136th Street, the one we did last year. There were a bunch of no parking signs along that stretch of road that says no parking here too, and then it tells the next intersection.
It would be signed in that. I thought you were talking about some other form of communication.
The signs.
There definitely will be signs posted on both sides of the road.
Very good, thank you.
That was my question as well. Sounds like the typical notification is we get no parking signs. So would anyone from the public like to address the commission in this public hearing? Seeing none, it is 10:42. We will close the public hearing and move on to item 6Q 2022 CO 186, which is the order adopting the additional regulations to control vehicular traffic. Bob, anything further?
Nothing further, Commissioners, other than just ask that you go ahead and approve this proposed change.
Thank you.
I move approval of 2022-CO-186, an order adopting additional regulations to control vehicular traffic upon the public roads in the unincorporated territory of Platte County, Missouri.
Second,
We have a motion and a second to approve 2022 CO 186. Question or discussion from the commission? Anyone from the public like to address the commission concerning 186? Seeing none, clerk, you please call the roll. Yes,
Commissioner Wood?
yes.
Commissioner Hannaford?
Yes.
that motion carries. Thank you, Bob. Next item on the agenda is announcements from county office holders and staff, and Eric Zahn was scheduled to be here to go over an annual report. Mark, you're going to step in today. Appreciate that.
I am. Thank you, Commissioners. So Mr. Zahn gives his apologies on not being here, but Tracy's in the hospital having a procedure, and he's with her, so we wish her a quick recovery from that. Pursuant to Chapter 56095, Commissioners, the prosecutors required to an annual memorandum reporting the number of felonies and misdemeanors prosecuted. Mr. Zahn presented that memorandum to the Commission on November 3rd, detailing the amount of cases filed by our office: 729 felonies, 12,612 misdemeanors, totaling 13,341 cases filed to that calendar point. He did want me to mention, for purposes of the meeting, Platte, as known, is the fastest growing county in Missouri. With that brings good things for development. And people come to our county because people want to live here, people like the schools here, people feel safe here. But unfortunately, sometimes that does bring more crime. Most notably, in the past year, from the pre-COVID year of 2019 to calendar year 2022, we have seen almost a doubling of DWI cases. In 2019, the last pre-COVID year, we had filed 316 DWI cases. In calendar year 2022 to the present, we have filed 619 DWI cases, almost a 50% increase in that same time frame. Given the fact of the passage of Amendment 3, which goes into effect this Thursday, we also anticipate an increase based upon that passage with drivers driving high on marijuana. A case in point, Colorado, which legalized marijuana in 2014 recreationally. Presently, 1 in 4 DUI-related fatalities involve marijuana. 48% of all DUIs in Colorado are marijuana-related. Part of this increase in the DWI prosecution that we have had in Platte County is through efforts of the Platte County Sheriff. They have 2 now DREs, or drug-related experts, that allow sheriff deputies to determine if somebody is driving while high or under the influence of drugs. We didn't have that. That's the first time we've had that in Platte County in the sheriff's history. We had highway patrolmen that did that, but no Platte County deputies. So we anticipate that to be an increase. I know Commissioner Schieber, you had a question about the number of the misdemeanors, the increase from the 2019 to the 2020, that large jump. Part of it is in relation to the way cases were handled, but also part of it is the way things were calculated. Prior to 2019, tickets were calculated differently by Mr. Zahn. To comply with 56095, he added those tickets to the misdemeanor count, as most tickets were in fact misdemeanors. So I know you had that question.
Very good. Appreciate you addressing that. Any other questions or?
I just wanted to comment and thank Missouri's Assistant Prosecutor of the Year for coming to present to the commission today. Congratulations,
Commissioner Wood.
Mark.
Thank you. It was very unexpected. I appreciated that. I think I did not expect that, but it was very surprised, and I was very thankful to have worked with good people, including Commissioner Vanover for at least almost 14 years. And we have a good office, we have a good staff, and I think we work hard to keep Platte County safe. And I think that's part of it. What we have here at the commission, what we have at the sheriff's office, is why I think Platte County is the fastest growing county. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm very grateful for the prosecution team that we have in Platte County, and I thank you so much for keeping our
We are
citizens
too.
safe.
Thank
Thank you.
Public safety is the foundation of a thriving community. If crime gets out of control, everything else starts to fall apart. So thank you for being there with the law enforcement officers to try to keep us safe for your work. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Vanover.
Very good. We appreciate you being here, Mark. Again, keep us safe out there. We are the fastest growing, and it does come with some challenges, but we know you and your team are up to that challenge, so appreciate it.
Commissioner Schieber, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Any other announcements from county office holders or staff?
Morning, Commissioners, Major Holland from the Sheriff's Office. Just wanted to provide you an update. As you know, every year the Sheriff's Office does a program called Shop with the Deputy. We did that event this past Saturday. We were able to take 35 underprivileged children shopping. The way the program works is there's a separate organization that's actually not part of the county called the Sheriff's Children's Trust or Children's Foundation. It's a 501c3. It's got a board of citizens, and it's actually the funding mechanism for that program. It's completely funded by donations from citizens and businesses, no county funds that are expended. This year, each kid got $250 to go shopping based on the donations, and 150 of that had to be clothing items, whether it's coats, shoes, gloves, underwear, et cetera, for the kids. And then the remainder could be spent on Christmas presents, either that the child wanted for themselves. But what we traditionally see is they are very interested in buying presents for their family members so they can put something under the tree for the holiday. But it was a good event, and just wanted to give you an update on how that went.
Appreciate it. Was all that shopping in Platte County?
It was all done at the Walmart down off of Berry Road and I-29. They've been a good partner with us. This is I think it's our 28th year doing it. We moved to Walmart after the Kmart down at 72nd closed down, and we've been there ever since. They do a great job working with us. They donate to the program themselves. And ever since we've moved to Walmart, one of the things they brought on board was making sure there was enough money to where every family gets a Christmas dinner box with some sort of meat and potato sides and things of that nature so they can have a holiday meal.
Appreciate the work you do. I know the program's pretty much done for this year, but in my fundraising experience, it's never too early to start raising funds. If someone wants to look at a donation for maybe going down the road next year, is that posted on your website, or where can they find information about it?
It's not posted on the website. Usually we put out press releases as we get near. And a lot of our donors are repeat donors, but they can contact the sheriff's office or come by the office, and we'll be happy to take donations from them. The foundation actually does a few different programs. The Shop with the Deputy is probably the largest, followed up neck and neck with the feminine hygiene product donation drive to get feminine hygiene products to underprivileged girls in the county. And then they do some emergency where, if we run into a family that needs emergency sheltering or something of that nature, and they would pay for hotel rooms for a night or two, things of that nature. So we take money year round, and people can either just donate to the foundation, or they can specify particular programs like Shop with the Deputy or the hygiene products drive if they like.
Thank you for the work that you do in our community for these kids. We appreciate that. So,
It's our pleasure.
all right,
Good time.
thank you. Any other announcements, county office holders and staff? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, which is public comments, and I didn't have any requests for public comments. So we'll go on to item 9, which is commission comments. Item 9A is presiding commissioner, and I have no comments today, Commissioner Wood.
When is your last administrative session?
It would be the next administrative session. But, I should mention, there is going to be a swearing-in ceremony on the 28th at the court or the commission room up in Platte City, and public is welcome to that. So What's that?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Now, Commissioner Wood,
I have nothing to add.
Commissioner Vanover.
Evergy will explain to the county commission on Monday, December 19, their work during the last several months to improve reliability of electricity in Platte City. The regular commission meeting will start at 10 a.m. at the Platte County Resource Center. The Evergy part of the meeting will start towards the end of the agenda. The public is welcome to attend and speak at the meeting. If members of the Platte City community have any comments they want Evergy to hear, I can relay the comments to Evergy during the meeting. It is important for Evergy to know how power outages affect our businesses and the community. Comments for Evergy can be sent to joe.vanover@co.platte.mo.us. I will let you know on a personal note, it was a couple of weeks ago on a clear and cold Sunday morning that the power went out in downtown Platte City, and it forced the leaders of my church to start trying to decide, are we going to have Sunday service or not? You know, will the building be warm or cold? Thankfully, they got the power back on about an hour later, so we were able to have Sunday service. But I think it's critical to a lot of people that we have reliable electricity. When we have a major storm come through, everyone understands that the power goes out, but when it's clear and there's nothing happening on a peaceful Sunday morning, it just seems like the electricity should stay on.
Appreciate you continuing to work this, so. Seeing no further business before this commission, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second to adjourn. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Shebel?
Yes,
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanover?
Yes.
that motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.